Good evening, all of you. Yesterday, before this class, we have read about the offer and the various elements of offer. Now, today we are going for this acceptance. What is acceptance and what are the essential elements of acceptance? All these things we have to take into account. And before going for this acceptance, I would like to tell you something that is okay. When you are going for acceptance and when you want to give an acceptance to your to the offer, to the proposal or offer, whatever it may be, you must be very careful in that. Careful in the sense, you have to understand the concept, you have to understand the proposal, and you have to think yourself, and then you have to go for acceptance. That is compulsory. Okay, that is compulsory. So before you come across any proposal or any offer, whatever it may be, given by anyone, you must understand the whole thing, and you have to think 1 to 10 times, and then you have to give your consent for that. So this is nothing but the acceptance. And you may ask me, sir, why you are telling all these things? When you give your acceptance without understanding, without proper understanding, okay, then you cannot retrieve back. You won't get back. You won't be in your position. Okay, you won't be in your position before the acceptance was given. So everything it will change when we go for acceptance. So it is always better for you to understand that and think 1 to 10 times, and then give your the assent to the proposal or this thing. Okay, so be careful about this acceptance. A contract arises from an acceptance of an offer. Okay, when you accept a proposal, automatically it will become an agreement. And when the agreement, when it is enforceable by law, automatically it will become a contract. So when you want to see a contract, first of all, you have to be very cautious in accepting that. That's what he is telling. A contract arises from an acceptance of an offer. It is an act of assenting by the offeree to an offer. It is an act of assenting, give his complete opinion. It is an act of assenting by the offeree to an offer. It is it is to offer what a lighted mastic is to a train of gunpowder. When you take a train of gunpowder and when you take a lighted mastic, a big explosion will come. A big explosion will come, and a lot of dust will be there. And if you want to retrieve back the train of gunpowder as well as the lighted mastic, you cannot get back. So retrieving of the things you cannot come across when you give your acceptance. It is to offer what a lighted mastic is to a train of gunpowder. It produces something which cannot be recalled or which cannot be recalled or undone. This means when the offeree gives his assent to an offer or to an offerer, it becomes a promise. It becomes a promise. So this is about the acceptance. And after that, how the acceptance? The acceptance may be expressed or implied. Okay, the acceptance may be expressed or implied. It is expressed when it is communicated either by words spoken or written. This is expressed acceptance. It is implied when it is to be gathered from the surrounding circumstances or by the conduct of the parties. It is implied when it is to be gathered from the surrounding circumstances or by the conduct of the parties. Then only it will become the acceptance. So, what is the example for this implied acceptance? In an auction sale, yes is the highest bidder. The auctioneer accepts the offer by striking the hammer on table. This is an implied acceptance. When you go for an auction sale, you will come across bidding. Okay, different people they'll go for different bids, and when one person, when he is a highest bidder, okay, three times, the auctioneer, what he will do is he will accept that offer by striking the hammer three times on the table. Okay, then automatically it is said to be an implied acceptance. Then it is said to be an implied acceptance. So once if you give your acceptance, you are bound to go for that. There won't be any alteration or any adjustment at all. You are supposed to go for that. That is nothing but implied acceptance. Okay. So what is there any case? There is a case when an offer is made to particular person, it can be accepted by him alone. When it is accepted by anyone, there is no valid acceptance. See, when you are making an offer to a particular or a specified person, he only must accept. No other person must accept that. When any other person, when they accept that, it is not said to be a valid acceptance. You have to keep that in mind. Okay, and there is a case for this. Okay, Bolton versus Jones. Bolton versus Jones. So, what is the case and what is the judgment that was given for this case? We have to see that. Bolton purchased a hosepipe business from Brooklehurst. Brooklehurst. Okay. Jones, to whom Brooklehurst owed a debt, placed an order with Brooklehurst for the supply of certain goods. Bolton supplied the goods even though order was not addressed to him. Okay, Jones refused to pay Bolton for the goods. Jones refused to pay Bolton. Jones refused to pay Bolton for the goods. Bolton sued for the amount in the court of law. Now, what is the judgment? The offer was made to Brooklehurst, and it was not in the power of Bolton to step in and accept. Therefore, there is no contract. Therefore, there is no contract. This is the judgment given. Okay, here you have to understand that. If you understand, if you clearly know that, you can able to understand that. Okay, Bolton, a person, he purchased a hosepipe business from Brooklehurst. Brooklehurst is the person who is running the hosepipe business. And Bolton, he want to purchase and he purchased the hosepipe business from Brooklehurst. And Jones, a third person, he mean he had given some money to this Brooklehurst, and Brooklehurst has to pay the debt. And for that amount or for clearance of that debt, what had happened is Jones he placed an order on Brooklehurst for the supply of some goods. Okay, and this thing it came to Mr. Bolton, and Bolton he supplied the goods. Okay, he supplied the goods. So what had happened is, and when Jones completely he refused to pay the goods. Okay, he refused to pay for the goods. So Bolton he had gone to court of law for the amount, and the court had given judgment. You see, the offer was made to Brooklehurst. Okay, and it is addressed to Brooklehurst. Okay, and you are not supposed to enter, and you are not supposed to give the goods to Jones. You are a third person, you don't know that. And Jones, he ordered that to Brocklehurst. So it is the duty of the Brocklehurst to, I mean, supply the goods, but not you. So you have given the goods, and there is no relation. Jones, he don't know about you. So that's why there is no contract. There is no valid contract, because the acceptance must, when an offer is made to a specific person, the acceptance must come from that person. No one has a right to enter into that. Okay, no, you, okay, okay. So you purchased the business, host pipe business from Brocklehurst. That is a different thing. But Jones, he made a norm. He made an order to Brocklehurst. So Brocklehurst has the responsibility. Okay. So the contract is not valid. Okay. There is no contract at all. Therefore, there is no contract. Now, essentials of a valid acceptance. What are the important rules and what are the important features that we come across when we go for a valid acceptance? First thing is, acceptance must be absolute and unqualified. Acceptance must be absolute. You should not be, there should not be any other things. And unqualified, there should not be any qualification. Okay, there should not be any kind of interference or adjustment, whatever you take. It should not be qualified, it must be unqualified. It it must confirm with the offer. It must confirm with the offer. For that, the example is, A made an offer to B to purchase the house with possession from 25th July. The offer was followed by an acceptance suggesting possession from 1st August. There is no concluded contract. Yeah. Here, A, he made a proffer to B that he want to, take the house. And that taking of this house or possession of the house, it will be, it is from 25th July. And B had given his acceptance. B had given his acceptance. Okay. And followed by, the offer was followed by an acceptance suggesting, there should not be any sessions, suggestions, the position from 1st August. So it is not a concluded contract, because on 25th July he want to take the house into his control. And if B says okay, then automatically it will become a contract. But what B had done is, he suggested that the position of the house will be from 1st August onwards. So automatically it is not a concluded contract, because it is not having any this, it is not absolute and unqualified. It is, okay, completely qualified. Next, second one. Acceptance must be communicated to an offerer, to an offer. When you go for acceptance, you have to communicate your acceptance. You have to give your acceptance to the offerer. Okay, there is no necessity for you to communicate to any other person, and you have to give your, acceptance, or you have to communicate the acceptance to the person who is making an offer. To that person you have to give your acceptance. The acceptance must be communicated in some perceptible form, in some way, whatever it may be, the desirable way, and whatever it may be, the convenient way. Okay, you have to communicate to the offerer. in some perceptible form, mental determination on the part of offeree to accept an offer without external manifestation of the intention to do so is not sufficient. Yeah. Mental determination on the part of the offeree, to accept an offer without any external manifestation. There is nothing at all. Whether you lie, whether you are going to give that or not, there is no external manifestation. So when there is no external manifestation, okay, manifestation of the intention to do so, okay, it is not sufficient. So acceptance must be communicated. Next, third one, it should be according to the mode of prescribed. Okay, whatever may be the manner, whatever it may be the way that the offerer, if he says, you have to give your acceptance in that way. Suppose if the offerer, if he wants your acceptance, okay, in writing, you have to give your acceptance in writing. Suppose if the offerer, if he says that just by orally you can give your acceptance, so you have to give orally. Okay, but the thing is, whatever it may be the mode prescribed, you have to give your acceptance in that way only. You should not, okay, give in your own way. That is important. Okay, next, Amma. Yeah, I'm going for that. If acceptance is not according to mode prescribed, the offerer may intimate to offeree within a reasonable time that the acceptance is not according to prescribed mode and may insist for the same. It may otherwise it may be rejected. It may be rejected. It may be given within reasonable time. Yeah. If acceptance is according to the mode prescribed, okay, the offerer must intimate the offeree. He will intimate that I want your acceptance in this manner, in the mode, in this prescribed mode only. He will intimate that. The offerer, he will intimate that to the offeree. So you have to give in that way only, but you should not go and think in your own way. May intimate to offeree within a reasonable time that the acceptance is not according to prescribed mode and may insist for the same. He will insist, okay, for the same. Otherwise it may be rejected. Okay, it may be given within a reasonable time. Okay, you have to give that mean acceptance within a reasonable time. Like this you'll come across. Now the acceptor must be aware of the proposal at the time of offer. Okay, what offer he made, what offer he made, the offer he made, he must have that. Blindly he should not go. That is, okay, acceptance must follow the offer. It should not be in advance. It should not be in advance to the offer. Okay, who knows that whether the offer is made to that person or to some other person? So acceptance must precede, must go after the offer, but it should not go in advance. Acceptance must follow offer. If the acceptor is not aware of the existence of the offer and conveys his acceptance, no contract comes into existence. Okay, whether there is offer or not, the acceptor must be aware of that. When there is an offer, then he can give his acceptance. Without knowing that there is an offer, okay, if the acceptor, if he gives his acceptance prior to the offer, then we can say that there is no contract. Okay, there must be a knowledge of the offer before anyone could consent to it. There must be a knowledge of the offer. What is the knowledge? What is the main thing of that offer? People, they must know that. And without that, blindly, you should not give your acceptance. That is the main thing that we come across. Now, next one is acceptance must be given before the offer lapses or before the offer is withdrawn. See, you are given an offer amount. When you are given an offer, the acceptance must be within a reasonable time. Reasonable time in the sense, okay, you should not give your acceptance, okay, I mean, after the offer lapses, after the offer lapses, collapse, okay, or before acceptance, before the offer is withdrawn. Okay, if you just give a proposal, the acceptance must be within a reasonable time, and that reasonable time, it should not cross the limit. So by that time, what will happen is the offer will be lapsed, collapse, or the offer is withdrawn. He cannot wait for a long period of time. You have to give within a short span of period your acceptance. That is the thing. It means acceptance must be made while the offer is in force, that is before the offer lapses. Okay, in time. Okay, you have to give in time your acceptance when you want to give your acceptance. Otherwise, just keep quiet. Nothing will may go wrong. Okay, if not you, some other person. You'll give for some other person. The offer will be given to some other person. Okay, that is the thing. That next eight, acceptance cannot be implied from silence. Okay, if you are silent, you heard about an offer or proposal, and if you are silent, okay, it does not mean that you had given your offer. That's what it is not implied. Okay, offer cannot be implied from silence. No contract is formed if the offeree remains silent and does nothing to show that he has accepted the offer. He has to do something. Okay, suppose if he won't speak, he has to do something, and he has to convey that. Suppose if he won't convey that and if he won't do that, okay, if you keep silent, it doesn't mean that the offer will be accepted. It will become a promise. So these are the various essential elements that we come across for for an acceptance. Okay, and we'll go to the next class. Okay, regarding revocation of offer and revocation of acceptance. Okay, okay, thank you.